Welcome to today's podcast, where we dive into the life and legacy of a man whose genius built our digital age, Alan Turing. His story is as much about revolutionary ideas as it is about personal triumphs and, tragically, deep injustices.
Yeah, it's incredible how one person's vision can shape our entire world. So, where do we start?
Let's start uh, at his early years. Alan Turing was born in 1912 in London, and um, even early on, his mind was blazing with unconventional thought. Despite being in a traditional, rigid school
Hmm.
system that didn't quite appreciate his passion for math and science, he forged his own path.
Right, man, it's like he was already living in a world of abstract ideas, so far ahead of his time. How did that shape his later work?
Well, his isolation and emotional detachment from his parents due to constant travels pushed him to become intensely independent. And then there's his friendship with Christopher Morcom, a relationship so profound it not only influenced his emotional life, but also reoriented his scientific perspective towards determinism and the idea that the universe was governed by strict laws.
Yep,
It's amazing how personal loss can have such a catalytic effect on one's intellectual pursuits.
absolutely. And then comes his big breakthrough, right? The whole idea behind his paper on computable numbers and the Turing machine. How did that come about?
Exactly. Around 1936, Turing tackled the Entscheidungsproblem, a question about whether every mathematical truth could be mechanically determined. Instead of just giving a yes or no answer, he devised a conceptual machine, the Turing machine, to model computation. This little abstract device, with an infinite tape, a read write head, and a finite set of states, could simulate any algorithmic process.
Yeah,
It's like, uh, the blueprint for every computer we have today.
it's wild to think that every smartphone or laptop is a descendant of that idea. But there's more, right? I mean, his Universal Turing Machine really transformed our conceptual thinking about computation.
Right, you are. The idea of a universal Turing machine was revolutionary. Imagine a machine that wasn't tied to solving one specific problem, but that could, in theory, simulate any other Turing machine. It's like having a single, almost magical computer that can be configured to solve countless different problems. It's like, having one super versatile tool
Absolutely.
in your toolbox. It's fundamental to modern computing.
Now, shifting gears a bit, Turing wasn't just an academic, he was also a wartime hero, right? His work at Bletchley Park saved countless lives during World War II.
Yes, indeed. When war broke out, Turing was recruited to Bletchley Park, where he tackled the seemingly insurmountable challenge of cracking the Enigma cipher. The Germans had engineered the Enigma machine so that it produced a mind boggling number of possible settings, making brute force
Right.
nearly impossible. But Turing found the weakness in human error and repetition, like operators using predictable phrases, known as cribs.
That's fascinating. The idea of using predictable human behavior to beat an otherwise unbreakable code. So, he designed a specialized machine, the Bombe, to automate the testing of these cipher settings, didn't he?
Exactly. The bomb was an electromechanical device that effectively ruled out impossible combinations and honed in on the most likely settings. It wasn't a computer in the modern sense, but it was ingenious for its time. Think about it, a machine built to fight war by finding patterns in chaos. It completely
Yeah.
changed the course of history.
And while the Bombe was solving Enigma, he was also working on another cipher, the Lorentz cipher, which eventually led to the development of Colossus, the world's first programmable digital computer.
Right. Turing's contributions at Bletchley didn't stop with one project. His work was a tapestry of brilliance, from not only cracking Enigma, but also inspiring the construction of machines that could tackle more complex encryption, like the Lorentz system. His
Absolutely.
contributions during the war were both varied and vital.
After the war, his genius didn't fade either. He went on to design the ACE at the National Physical Laboratory, a stored program computer that basically embodied his earlier abstract ideas. How did that transition happen?
That's a great point. Post war, Turing's mind was still wrestling with the idea of the universal machine. His work at the National Physical Laboratory was all about turning that abstract model into a practical machine. He envisioned a computer that not only executed calculations, but could even play chess and solve complex problems, paving the way for what we now call artificial intelligence.
Right.
Essentially, he was too visionary for his time.
Interestingly, though, bureaucratic red tape slowed his progress, didn't it? I mean, his ideas were so far ahead, but sometimes the establishment just can't keep up.
Exactly. Despite his groundbreaking designs, Turing's brilliance was, at times, hemmed in by administrative hurdles and a lack of understanding. Frustrated, he eventually moved to Manchester, where he contributed to the Manchester Mark I, the world's first working stored program
Yeah.
computer. Turning theory into a tangible working machine was monumental.
And then there's probably one of his most famous contributions, the Turing Test, right? The idea of setting up an imitation game to gauge machine intelligence.
Right. In his 1950 paper, Turing proposed the imitation game, now known as the Turing Test. It was, a practical rephrasing of the question, can machines think? Instead of getting into abstract arguments about consciousness, he proposed a simple behavioral test. If a machine can fool a human interrogator in conversation, then why not call it intelligent? That idea
Yeah,
remains central to debates about AI even today.
it's quite a pragmatic approach, but not everyone agrees with it, is that right? There's been some critique of using conversation as the only metric for intelligence.
Yes, exactly. While the Turing test was revolutionary for its time, some argue that it doesn't capture the depth of human cognition. It's a fair critique. Language alone might not fully define intelligence. But Turing's point was more about posing a tangible, objective challenge rather than nailing down every nuance of the human
Hmm.
mind. It's still a fascinating discussion.
And then, after all his scientific triumphs, there's the heartbreaking aspect of his life, the persecution he faced because of his sexuality.
Yes, and that part of his story is both tragic and infuriating. Despite his monumental contributions, helping to shorten World War II and laying the foundations of modern computing, Turing was persecuted for simply being who he was.
Yeah,
The treatment he received is a stark reminder of how societal prejudices can destroy even the brightest minds.
the forced chemical castration, the loss of his security clearance, and ultimately, his tragic death. It's just so heartbreaking. How do you think that juxtaposition of genius and cruelty influences his legacy today?
It's profound, really. Turing's life embodies the paradox of modern society: brilliant innovation on one side and deeply human injustice on the other. Today, his work is celebrated and his legacy is enshrined in the field of computer science, with awards and even currency bearing his image. Yet, his personal story is a cautionary tale about the terrible cost of intolerance. His legacy
Absolutely.
forces us to reckon with the past while inspiring a future that must be more inclusive.
I love that. The recognition today with his portrait on the 50-pound note and even Turing's law to pardon historical convictions, it's almost as if society is catching up, albeit centuries too late.
Right, it's bittersweet. While we now honor his contributions in computer science and artificial intelligence, there's still that lingering sadness over how he was treated by the very society he helped protect. It's a moral imperative for us to learn from his story, celebrate intellectual breakthroughs, but also stand up against prejudice.
It seems like Turing's work not only reshaped technology, but also paved a way for ethical debates in modern tech. Like, how do we balance progress with compassion?
Exactly. His vision was not just about machines, but about extending human intellect and creativity in ethical ways. It's like, every time we use a computer or a smartphone, we're indirectly paying homage to his ideas. Yet, we also must remember his suffering so that we never repeat history. It's a
Yeah,
dual legacy of brilliance and warning.
speaking of dual legacies, what about his later work in mathematical biology? Turing's ideas on morphogenesis were way ahead of their time. How do you see that fitting into his overall impact?
Oh, that's a neat part of his story as well. In 1952, he published his work on the chemical basis of morphogenesis, where he explained how simple chemical reactions could lead to the formation of complex patterns in nature. It's like, um, explaining how a leopard gets its spots. His ideas prefigured what we now call reaction diffusion systems. It's another example of how
Yeah,
he saw the world in terms of simple rules generating complex forms.
That's really an elegant convergence of art, science, and nature, isn't it? It's almost poetic. The same mind that cracked wartime codes could also decode nature's patterns.
Absolutely. It's like he had one eye on the micro world of molecules and the other on the macro world of human conflict and technology. His legacy spans so many fields, it almost defies categorization. His
Yep.
contributions are just that far reaching.
So when we look at Turing today, we see both a pioneer of computer science and a tragic figure. A man who, despite his astounding intellect, was crushed by the prejudices of his time.
Right. His personal tragedy, the brutal injustice he suffered, only makes his scientific achievements stand out more. His life serves as a beacon, urging us to nurture creativity and to stand up for the rights of all brilliant minds, regardless of who they are. It's a call to build a
Exactly.
world where innovation and empathy go hand in hand.
I think that's the key takeaway. Celebrating Turing's groundbreaking ideas, from the Universal Turing Machine through the Turing Test to his insights in biology, while also remembering the human cost of societal prejudice.
Yes, his legacy compels us to champion the unconventional. Every time we marvel at the power of our computers or debate the prospects of AI, we're essentially engaging with Turing's vision. It makes you wonder, what future breakthroughs might be waiting if every mind was allowed to flourish without fear?
Yeah,
It's both inspiring and a call for vigilance.
incredible. And as we wrap up, it's clear that Turing's impact continues to ripple through technology, ethics, and culture. His work not only set the stage for the digital revolution, but also offers a timeless lesson in the importance of embracing all parts of our human potential.
Absolutely. Turing was the universal man whose legacy is a testament to both the limitless power of human intellect and the critical need for a fair, just society. His story reminds us that true progress involves not only innovative ideas, but also the courage to be compassionate,
Yeah,
a legacy to be honored and learned from by all of us.
thanks for this engaging discussion. It's amazing how one man's life can continue to echo through every bite of our daily lives, while also challenging us to build a kinder future.